Kim Noble is an individual who lives with dissociative identity disorder, DID, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. Her DID stems from the horrific abuse she endured as a child, which caused her mind to shatter, as she describes it in her autobiography. She has lived in the UK, and her abuse aligns with testimonies from other survivors in Europe and England, such as the alleged human hunting party victim from the Netherlands and Annika Lucas. Some of Kim Noble's personalities paint, each with their own unique style. Some alters' artwork appears to communicate the abuse they suffered and still hold painful memories of. Rhea Pratt's painting style and subject matter are particularly revealing of what she remembers. I will now play a clip from the Oprah Winfrey Show, where alter Rhea is dominant.
I have some of your paintings here, and I just wanted to know, what's your inspiration for some of these paintings?
Well, people have got to know what goes on, don't they? Just got to know. It's just these things happen. People don't believe they happen.
Are you painting from memories from your childhood?
Yes. These things happen, and children get hurt. It makes me very sad. They're not happy.
Can you tell me about yourself? How old are you?
I'm 12.
And what are some of your first memories of your childhood?
People have got to know this goes on because they've got to look after children. Because people don't believe it happens. And they've got smiles on their faces. Because they find it funny. So don't take sweets. Bad sweets. Good sweets. There's good sweets and bad sweets. So you just don't take the bad sweets. And they give you sweets. And then they zap you. But it's your fault, isn't it?
Why is it your fault?
Because you took the sweet.
These are some of Rhea's paintings. In the Oprah clip, she also makes the sign of Harpocrates, also known as the vow of silence hand gesture. Another personality that appears to retain some memory of the abuse is referred to as Key. These are her paintings. This is one of Judy's paintings. Here we see a black and white tiled floor, possibly indicating where her abuse may have taken place. This tiled floor is a recurring theme in Kim Noble's paintings, along with a black, white, and red colour scheme. I will now read a passage from Kim Noble's autobiography, All of Me, from the perspective of Hayley. Hayley smiled as the man poured the coffee. She could hear men's voices. It sounded clear and yet muffled. Hayley shook her head. Was it suddenly foggy in here? I must be more tired than I thought. She didn't fight it when the man with the coffee helped her up. She didn't resist when he led her down the stairs. In fact, without his help, she wouldn't have made it. What's wrong with my legs? She didn't try to prevent it when the other two men appeared and all three of them lifted her into a box raised on a long table. She giggled. Am I in a dream? Could there be another explanation? She felt so listless, like a toy almost out of battery life, barely going through the motions. Nothing seemed to be working. She just wanted to close her eyes. But then she recognized the pink quilted fabric. My God, it's a coffin. I'm in a coffin. Suddenly alert, Hayley's heartbeat must have been off the scale by now. Still though, she couldn't move. What the hell is going on? Adrenaline surge fading, she fought hard to concentrate. She needed to be awake. She needed to see everything. She needed to be able to tell the police every last detail. But I'm so tired. The fog in her head was settling lower and thicker. It wasn't a dream, she knew that. It was a nightmare. But this was worse. Worse than anything she had ever seen. Because of the children. She heard them first. The sound was unclear, like a badly tuned radio. But slowly she recognized it as singing. When her eyes focused, she could make out 5 little ones. They were dressed in long shirts, holding hands, chanting Ring O' Roses. The children weren't smiling. They were young, but Hayley could read in their faces they knew it wasn't a game. None of them had dared look at the men in the grotesque animal masks standing at the back. None of them smiled. They gripped each other's hands as tightly as possible, sang as well as they could, and tried not to look at the men filming it all. Later in her book, more information is revealed. Hayley had informed the police of being a witness to a recording of a film involving child porn. I read all of this years later in police papers. I could barely comprehend the words. For the first time, I cursed my DID. How dare it let me witness something so hideous and let me do nothing about it? Perhaps if I had stepped forward, then I wouldn't be here now to tell the tale. By blowing the whistle on this depraved ring, Hayley had angered some very dangerous people. People in authority who had too much to lose to go quietly. As the court case drew nearer, the suspect's acquaintances were getting more and more desperate that we shouldn't testify. I couldn't believe how far they were prepared to go. One day, we'd been attacked on our way home from work, resulting in a black eye and a twisted arm. That was nothing. Our local newspaper received threats for giving the case coverage. Other witnesses were cowed into walking away. Hayley had refused, and we had all paid the price. One day, she had answered the front door at home, to be met by a man holding something. As soon as the man was confident it was us, he'd thrown something into our face. It was acid. I can't imagine anything worse. Obviously, we ran inside and threw water over our face, but the damage was done. To this day, I still have papery thin skin as a consequence. I'm lucky to have any face left at all. The people responsible for Kim Noble's horrific abuse seem to operate outside the law. Judging by the ritualistic elements, such as the masks, the coffin, and the symbolism in her paintings, including the checkered tile pattern and references to Kabbalah, we can only speculate about which organisation her abusers were affiliated with. Thank you for watching.